Hello guys, how you doing? Welcome back to Sim UK. I am about to do something of an explorative video today. Sorry, I'm a bit dry mouth, just getting over COVID. It's taking me a little bit longer to speak. My plan was to take the first model I did in my career, or one of the first models that I did in my career, which was this Spitfire. But unfortunately, at the moment, it seems that when you complete a project, it remains complete, and you can't take it back on the board. And you can see I haven't painted that, which is a bit of a shame. So what I'm going to do instead is just do a sandbox build. Hopefully that's something that will change. But we're going to go into sandbox mode, and I'm just going to grab exactly the same model. We're going to try a few things out. We're going to see how accomplished this game is. And I already know how accomplished the game is, but I don't know everything in this game, so this will be an interesting exploration for me. Let's just flick through till we find the Spitfire. There she is. So, one of the things I really wanted to test out today, let's bring up my camera. This is my daughter's sort of tablet, if you will. She does a lot of drawing on a laptop with this, and I'll be honest, I don't really use this ever. It's quite old, it's certainly nothing special, but it works in this game. Now, I haven't tested it thoroughly, and I know for a fact that the amount of pressure that you put on a pen, or the angle at which you put on the pen itself, on modern day sort of tablet systems, will impact or change the way in which the paint is applied in the application, or in this case within the game. So I'm going to test that out today. Now, those functionality elements that I just spoke about there, they're not currently in the game, but they are coming, so that's really quite exciting. Let's grab a piece. Let's see, what can we do here? So it looks like we're going to start off with this piece, which is on sprue B. So we'll just cut that out. Whilst we're here, we'll cut the other side out as well. Save ourselves a bit of time. And so this is obviously one half of the cockpit area, and the final finish effect. I'm going to try and show all different styles and options and availability within the controls here. It's really quite special. We have a disassembly tool now, which is also nice. So if I were to, actually I don't think they go together, do they? Let's just paint these up. What do you want me to paint here? It might be the other way around. Yeah, it's the other way around. Difficult to tell sometimes which bit is the bit that I'm meant to be painting. Alright, so we're just going to start off by doing as we're instructed. And already you can see that this is more complex than it was in my career, my campaign build. In the campaign build, most of this was already pre-built for me, which is really cool. So the same model can be built at different levels of complexity, which is great to see. Let's pull this piece up here. Okay. Let's have a go at painting this ourselves. I'm just trying to work out. Yeah, so it looks like we're painting this side with the bobbles on rather than the smooth side on the other side. Let's have a go at this. Let's pick this colour. What colour is this? This is smoke black. So instead, let's come over here and let's get the paintbrush. We're already on smoke black. Now, like I say, I'm not super used to using this. So give me a bit of leeway. So there we go. Okay, you can see I'm actually painting that. Now there's something I quite like to do here. I've not done this before. This will be the first time. If I grab the masking tape. Now I think how does this work? Mask shape. Okay, so that lets me put numbers on it and stuff. I just want a piece of tape. How do I just have a piece of tape? Is it possible to have just a piece of tape? Here we go. Something like this. No, that's kind of that's taping the whole damn thing. All right, I did say it was going to be explorative. Mask element. There we go. Okay, so that works. Bit of learning required there. Obviously, there's a few bits and bobs I don't quite understand yet. Haven't mastered it all. There's a lot to master in this game. It's very, very accomplished. Right, so let's get back on here. Now I can paint freely. Content in the knowledge that I'm not going to be painting the wrong colour on the wrong bit. And you can see at the edges here that it's not as solid as it is here, which is, you know, a good indication already about how much control and precision you have over things. Right, now the good news is that I've painted that, but as you can see, I don't think I was meant to paint that. I think I was meant to paint the other bit. So this is the colour that's meant to be here. Let me try that again. With the correct colour this time. This is so much nicer than using the mouse, I have to say. Still no? Oh, come on. Which bit is meant to be that colour then? What? Right, so now the outside bit is meant to be smoke black. Maybe there's a bug here. Maybe I've just discovered a bug. Let's find out. So let's go back to painting, get the masking tape out. How do I remove masking tape? Remove mask. There we go. So I removed the mask. Mask element. Huh. Well, that's masked something. It made a noise. Because it's still on remove, that's why. There we go. I thought it would auto reset. Right, so now I should be able to come into paintbrush. And let me check this. Smoke black. So let's go find ourselves some smoke black. Now you can see that this outer circle here should turn green. But if there is a bug here, which it kind of maybe looks like there could be one, then painting it this way will not make it go green. Yeah, it's certainly looking like that's the case. Now, it's meant to, and I think it's just a simple logic bug. It's expecting you to paint it in a particular way instead of doing it the way you want to do it. You're supposed to just use the paintbot technique. So that's a little bug there, but I shall tell the devs, and I guarantee you that'll be fixed before release day, because they are super hot at picking up and fixing any bugs that they get sent their way. Okay, so just to prove, exactly the same color, exactly the same piece. Yeah, so that's a bit of a bug. Okay, fine. We accept that. We can see that there are still some bugs. It's not released yet, guys. It's not full release. So I'm going to remove the mask, and there we have the finished article. Now, What's this piece? This is vastly more advanced than in the 𝐒𝐤, which is nice. Right, so I'm just going to quickly paint this, because what I want to do... here we go. I want to get onto like an external piece like this. Actually, maybe I'll wait a little bit before I do this bit. Okay, let's grab this piece. Sometimes I just cannot get this to move the way I want it to. There we go. I got it eventually. Right. So this section here slides into the slot there. Now you can see sometimes it's tricky to get the piece in the position that you want it. And rather than trying to put the piece where the thing goes, it's better to put the hand where it needs to be. That seems to work best for me. Of course, now they've added these little plus icons, you can just click that and it automatically puts it in there for you. Zooming in is obviously another really good way of making sure it all goes together. And whilst you're holding the mouse down, holding a piece down, you can still rotate, and that will also help connect pieces together how they should be. Right, so let's do something else here. So in the paint pot option, over here you've got a base coat tool. So if I click on that, you're not going to see very much because there's not much detail there. But let's go to the pattern tool. Let's click on, say, this one. And let's go for a gunship green and an olive brown. Now look at that. You've instantly got, excuse me, something similar to, if not fairly accurate, sort of Spitfire colours. And maybe you want to adjust it slightly. Now that doesn't seem to change very much, in my humble opinion. You've got the option here to change the paint type. It goes from fragment to part to object. Let's just see if I can maybe... See, what that's done is it's painted every single piece now. So all these inside pieces as well, it has... All those pieces we just painted, it has changed. But that's okay. We can fix all this. Excuse me. Do apologise. So we can see that that's coming on like that. Let's try 90 and 90. Let's bring this down to 10. You can see that's a lot less detail. Up to 100, there's more detail. Smoothness, bring that down. It'll be more solid lines and colours and shapes and stuff. And if we go all the way, you can see it's very, very abrupt. You see the edges getting slightly smoother as we start adjusting this. I'd say probably somewhere around about 30. Maybe a bit lower. Let's go 20. Just try 21. 21 looks good. I'd say that was a pretty good, you know, as a base coat maybe, a pretty good military spray colour that you can put straight on like that. You don't have to do it like that, of course. What you can do is, I just hit the base coat, and you can see that it's. Let me do this again. So this one, because it's doing the complete object, and the object means anything that's connected. So even though there are 1, 2, 3, 4 parts here, because they're now all together, it's considered to be one object. So that's spray painted the whole thing there. If we come in here, you can see that it will spray paint every single part. And that gives you a base paint color. It's like a good starting place where you can add more detail. But also, if we come in here, you can do it in fragments. So a fragment will just do this half of the spray of the model. And I can spray the other half, but you see that it hasn't painted these inner sections here. And it hasn't painted this or this. So that's quite handy. What's this one? This is a part. So let's go. So yeah, I think fragment and part are possibly very, very similar. Yeah, I think they're very similar. I'll be honest. Like I say, it's slightly explorative. But we're getting there. We're getting there. We're learning a little bit as we progress. Right, let's go and just base paint the whole thing so that we've got something decent to start with. And let's go and have a look at the nail file. So the file here is used to file off materials and leftovers from sprue supports. Now, I've never actually seen a piece, but it's nice that they have this. You can see I'm literally scratching bits of plastic off. I mean, we're talking 0.1 of a mil. But if, for example, you don't want to see that little join there, sandpaper removes scratches, the sandpaper. So you see how it's all quite scratchy? The sandpaper should, I think, smooth that out even more. Polishing cloth. So that's something you do after you've painted it to make it glossy. Plastic putty. So let's bring the size right down, because I just want to get in that gap there. Now, doing this with the mouse is going to be really hard. Doing it with a pen is not going to be much easier for me because I'm not used to it. But I think with the pen, I had a bit of practice. I think I could get quite good at this. So in real modelling terms, I would imagine that you would put the putty, then sand it a bit, and then paint it. But let's just have a go. I mean, I've not tried this before. This is a new technique. And again, what I really love about this game is the fact that it allows me to try these skills before doing them in real life, if that makes sense. Right, so I think I've puttified that quite a bit. Not sure if I've left a gap there. Right, so let's come over. God, my daughter makes this look so much easier than I do. Yeah, let's go for the sandpaper. Part of me kind of wants to get rid of that little round circle. I feel like we don't really need it, to be honest. I'm going to put that down because I struggle with that a little bit. Let's just get let's not do it in black because then you won't be able to see the difference. Go for reddish grey. So you can see that I have most definitely filled in the gap. It doesn't look like that anymore, but it certainly doesn't look pretty, does it? So let's see if I can just do anything to make that look a little bit better still. See, that's definitely making an effect there. I think it's just so accomplished, the game. It's got some great parts on it. One would hope you'd be able to get that joint so smooth that you just cannot see that it's there. Maybe I'm doing it the wrong way. Maybe I'm not using the techniques correctly. Like I say, I'm just attempting. Attempting to do something here. Ooh. Excuse me, I do apologise. It's that one little bit there I can't seem to get to. So on this occasion, I'm going to say I don't know that I've done any better. I don't think it looks any better at all. Maybe I scratched it too much. Maybe all the putty I put on there, I scratched it off. And see, look, now there's definitely a defect there. There's definitely a hole. Let's bring this right down. 100% straight. Oh. What I've tried to do is fill in that gap. Smooth it out a bit. I'm not very good at this, so it seems. But the tools are there. Whether or not the tools work properly or whether or not I've got to learn how to use them properly, which is probably where I think we're going with this. You can definitely see that all the tools and the capabilities are there. It's just a case of practicing with them and getting used to using them. Let's try the disassembly tool. I haven't used this yet. Let's zoom out a bit. If I click on that, ask for confirmation, disassemble. Yes. Ah, I see. So disassemble just takes the whole thing apart. I misunderstood how that was going to work. I thought it was going to take one piece. But what it will actually do is completely disassemble the whole thing. Yeah, I'm not really sure that's what I personally would have liked. You can see I've got 4 pieces together here. I'd really just like to be able to take one piece off. I don't want to disassemble the whole thing. I want to be able to basically come here, go disassemble, and say just take this one piece off. And obviously, let's say, for example, I wanted to take this section out here, and I click disassemble. I wouldn't be able to take that piece out because this piece needs to come off first. So then I would have to click disassemble and take the outer piece off, then remove the inner piece. I think that would be better, because, you know, I say I've put a very complex piece all together. I don't want to take the whole thing apart again. I just want to take one piece off. So I'll make my thoughts known to the devs, and maybe they will do something about that. Maybe they won't. I don't know. But oh yeah, this is nice. A painting sponge. Oh, wow, look. Let's try our thing again. Let's go for a base coat. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about this. Let's go for a base coat of brown. And then let's get this painting sponge. We'll go 61. Rotation is fine. Opacity. Go 50% opacity. Keep it flat, not wrapped. And let's change it to green. Right, let's see how this looks. Let's bring the opacity up to 100%. So there you go. So this is a great example of how we could create a similar look to what we had before, but this time by doing it manually. And you can see that by far having a stylus pen not only feels more authentic, it's far more precise. You can get right in there and get some really intricate bits sorted out. So that doesn't look too bad. I mean, bearing in mind I'm just doing this as an example to show you. Sorry about this. So what's this doing? This is, what's this called? An effect. Special effect. So this is moss. Obviously this wouldn't make sense on the outside of a model, but that is moss. That is definitely moss. What else do we have? Oh, lots of different textures and skins and options. You can see I'm still using the stylus to do this. Tree bark. That is actually looking very cool indeed. I mean, that now looks like a wooden Spitfire, doesn't it? A Spitfire made out of a bit of tree. And who's to say that's not the effect that you want to go for? That's really quite high resolution as well. I'm impressed. Solvent. Use this to dissolve and remove paint from objects. So I've wanted to do that before. So let's say we've got a decal. This one here. How can I resize? Oh, there we go. There's the size tool. So I've put my... I'm not quite sure why that doesn't... Oh, there we go. I needed to press the button. So now we have our decal. I come in and get my solvent. Maybe make it a little bit smaller. And yeah, it just dissolves. I mean, it completely dissolves everything. And then I'd have to repaint it, obviously, but that's okay. What's the ray gun do? Radiates your surroundings. All right, let's give that a try. We'll grab another one of these. And let's put it up here. Put it over here, actually. There we go. And grab the ray gun. How do I zoom in? I don't know how to zoom in using the stylus, I'll be honest. I'm not sure if you can. So for the time being, let's do it with the pen. Right, so ray gun. I mean, that's a bit quirky. And it kind of blows it out, doesn't it? See, here we got strength settings. Let's put it on 1. And let's grab ourselves another decal. I think I may have been pressing the... What? Oh, God, look. I've done it loads. Whoops. Easiest solution to this particular situation. Let's get rid of that. Now, how do I remove an effect? Okay, so I know how to add an effect / texture, but I don't actually know how to remove it. So that's something I'm going to have to look into. All right, so the strength is much lower. Maybe too low. Let's put it on 10%. 10% is quite high still. But you would use this, I guess, if you were doing headlights. So that now looks like it's glowing, which is kind of cool. If you were doing headlights for a vehicle, you would maybe give it a boost of the atomic gun tool. I mean, it's a bit quirky, I grant you, but it would give it that nice lit up effect, which is kind of cool. Could do a lot with that, I'm sure. Obviously, you got the spray gun. You have the paintbrush. You have the dry brushing tool, which at times I don't think works. Jury's still out on that one, I'll be honest. The washing tool, which again, whatever it's doing, I'm not seeing. And that's the masking tape. Okay. Well, I think I've covered pretty much everything. Discussed a few items, a few options. Sprue cutters, you've seen me use those before. Yeah, I think we've covered everything, but you can see just how advanced this is. And there's all these tools and all these masks and everything here, which see, look, that's huge. How do I change the scale, the size of the mask? So if I wanted to put a little V there, it's not going to let me. Mask shape. There you go. See, I'm still learning. That's why. Still learning. So if I pop that down there, grab myself a paintbrush. And you can see how well this works now. I mean, I'm really, even though I don't really know how to use this thing, I'm just flying around it really well. Very intuitive, very precise. Okay, come back to the mask tool, go remove the mask. Okay, removing the mask is a bit of a problem because it's changed back to this. It's defaulted back to what it was before. So I would now need to come in. It's a little bit tricky. I mean, it works. Look at that. There's definitely a V there that I've painted in, which is super cool. Mask model. So that would just mask the entire piece. That'll mask just the element. So if you look over here at the inside of the cockpit, if I've got it on mask model, it will mask everything. I should have done that. But if I have it on mask element, it will just mask the outside section and not the inside of the cockpit. You can see the difference there. I think it's incredible, and you know, I'm not even close to really being able to utilize this stuff to its full potential, but I just wanted to get in there and just show you how advanced and how incredible the tools and the skill sets, the tools and the options that are available to you. If you're a half decent model maker, I think you could get in here and do some incredible things. And even if you're not a model maker, I think it's good enough, easily good enough to teach you the skills necessary for you to start modeling yourself. I'm really impressed with this game, but I'd like to know your thoughts, please, guys. Let me know how you think this has gone. There's probably some bits that will change in time. Hopefully the decoupling thing will change slightly because or the disassemble thing will change slightly because I'm not really a fan of the whole thing coming apart when really I just want to one or two pieces off. But yeah, overall, I think spectacular. What do you think? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.